Today you could learn something like, oh, donkey. Yeah, I have this phone flipped upside down, so that's why it looks like I'm looking up. So there you go. Anyway. Oh, donkey. I don't think I can trust any of my urges to fart for a solid while now. So, just a warning here. If you're not comfortable with the subject because it's a different category, like, oh my, then you can go ahead and leave and find a different video to watch. Or not. Anyway. So let me start off by saying after 3 months I relapsed. And that is not something that I would have said. Oh my, saw my fingers. Gotta do something about this, well, sometime. Because I don't want to go to the dermatologist and then find out, oh yeah, the freezing thing doesn't work. We're just going to have to keep going for this cycle and all that. So I'll try something different here. So anyway, back to this video here. So I'm not used to this. Because I tapped the screen to make sure it's still on because I got paranoia that it might turn off on me. But during video recording you wouldn't think it would do that. Anyway. So, the reason why I said, well, after saying relapse, and then saying how that would have been something that I would say, years ago is because I want to discuss this and get this off my chest here. So, basically I just want to say how it's really funny how for the first 2 decades of your life, you can go without being told about retaining your seed. I don't typically make a video like this, but I can tell you that I, like sometime, like when I was like 40 days in, I was able to like really jog again, and that made me think like, wow, I wish somebody would have told me that years ago about retention. It's like you go to these doctors your whole fucking life and then they just think, oh, well, you probably just have a vitamin deficiency. And, to some extent that's true. But unfortunately, that doesn't really solve all that. Because, and don't try to question me on this because I wouldn't even know if those memories are real or fake. So I wouldn't be able to tell you how it originated, let alone if it started naturally or not. It was figuring out how to get off by the time I was just 5. And back then I thought that was normal. And then we probably thought, oh well, there must be something else wrong with him, right? Why he's so tired and he can't even like get out of last place in some race. Oh well. Some track thing, and then alright, let's go back in the car and go back to reading how to beat Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg on your strategy guide. So that information about retention would have been very useful to me, especially when my dad was having what was going on, and involving me to help out and lift and all that. We used to think, oh well, some other problem. I mean, the multivitamins and all that stuff that the doctor told me, again, did help to some extent, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird how doctors don't tell you about retention. It's like, oh yeah, like back in 2014, one doctor asked me, do you have sexual activity? It's like, I don't mean to be gross or anything, but that people can do that tantrically, right? Without blowing it, right? I hope you know that. People can do 100 O's without any E's, and they'd be fine. They'd be pretty much considered under streak, I guess. And not almost, but no ease until, today of this recording, but at least I went 3 months, I guess. So I can just pat myself on the back and be happy. So now, mostly retaining, but just not being excessive like it used to be, or at least every other, not every other, but I mean almost every 3 days. And even back when I was 5 years old, I think I did, it wasn't like with the hand or anything, it was just like a dry hump sort of thing, rubbing up against something, But yeah, I used to think that tiredness was normal, but then, maybe I should have done more research, but it's like when people say no November, it's like I thought, oh, is this going to be like just a meme or something, or some challenge, just of discipline? They're not going to tell you day is subjective, because Google, I guess they do control it quite a bit, but it's not entirely their fault either. But at the same time, I would have thought, if I tried looking it up, that would have been just what I thought it was, just a matter of disciplining yourself not to do what, and for a month. And yeah, it wasn't really until November 2019 when I really started doing that. And then when you go into January 2020, that's when I did my first really long streak for me, going from late January to late March, and then Then in October 2020, after a 110-day streak, then I did 2 E's, and then here we are now. First, I guess, E since October for 3 months. So yeah, it's just really something though. You can go to these doctors for first 2 decades of your life, and the fucking internet gives you the key to be able to start jogging again reliably. It's man, I would love to know that a long time ago. Thinking that it was normal, and then it's maybe I would have been in last place at that track thing. Anyway, I've been going on for quite a while, so I'll close this now. So, thank you for listening to me ramble on, and top care.